Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. Today I have another episode of Card Concoctions. And if you guys have not seen this before, essentially I pull out some supplies I want to use to make some cards and then I make one out of them. Today's is fun. I picked out 5 items. I have these shaker jar stickers. I have these illustrated faith stickers. These are just flat cardstock stickers, really pretty colors, really spring-esque. And I also have this stamp set by Altenew. And it's got all sorts of things. This is from Birchland collection. Really cute, and some birds, really cute. I have these Altenew die cuts, which these are from the Live Your Dream collection. And then lastly, I have some different papers from those matte stack paper pads. Now take your bets now in the comments of which of these I do not use. One of these never makes it to any of the cards that I'm going to be sharing today. So I'd love to see if you guys can guess which item it is. So let's jump right into the cards. I'm going to start off with some card bases. I have a couple different ones here. All of them are 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 when folded in half. But as you can see here, I have some portrait folding and then some regular landscape folding. So switching it up a little bit. Here I'm going to start by picking out some of the papers and creating a mat for my card. So this I just cut down to 4 by 5 1/4. And I hope these aren't too fast. I never know how fast to make card making videos because I don't want you guys waiting there forever. But I also treat these sort of like scrapbooking process videos where I talk through my process rather than showing you guys a technique, because all of these cards could easily be made with products you already have in your stash. So if you're looking to add some greeting cards into your inventory, I would highly recommend picking out a couple things, some stickers, maybe some stamps, just some items, and really making some cards. It's not as hard as it seems if you treat it like a miniature scrapbooking layout. So I have that shaker there, the little mason jar with some sequins and some flowers inside. And I paired that with a bird sticker and then this sentiment that says hooray from the Altenew set. And I also pulled in one of those Altenew circles. I just thought that would add another pop of color. And as always, and as most of my cards do, I also add a doily onto this one. This is just a Wilton doily from the cake decorating department. If you guys have not checked there for doilies, I highly recommend it. Here I pull out an extra stamp set for a tester. This is a Lawn Fawn stamp that says happy birthday, and I thought it would be nice to say hooray, happy birthday. But the funny thing about these die cuts is they're very slick. I possibly could have used some Stays-On ink, because that works a little bit better on slick surfaces rather than Versamark, which I did use. But I set that aside and hope it dried. By the end of this video, it had not dried, and that was my whole premise for these cards, was to be able to stamp on some of these labels and die cuts, and right now that's not going to be able to happen. So we'll see where we end up by the end of the video. But I'm going to put some foam adhesive under these other parts that are on top of the mason jar just so they can stick to the background a bit better. And I'm going to also add in that circle like I mentioned. And a little extra adhesive, never hurt nobody. And I will say these are quite simple cards, but I really love how they turned out. Another thing I ended up pulling in was this pin set. Now I think these are Little Yellow's Bicycle brand, if you guys remember that. But I pull in one of those blue flower pins and I just thought it looked so cute mixed in with the florals and the birds. And then I add a little enamel heart from Freckled Fawn. Now, if you guys have not been on my channel in a while, my November How to Kill a Kit with Style kit that I created is containing a bunch of random new stuff that I have in my stash, including these mason jar stickers, these die cuts, that stamp set, the stickers. The only thing that wasn't in the kit are these papers. I actually don't have many papers in that kit, so I thought it'd be nice to use up some of these oldies but goodies, and I also used these last month, especially this blue daisy floral here that I'm working with. I used that on a card last month as well, so I've been working through these old matte stack papers for a little bit now, and I'm glad I have some extra cards in my stash ready to go for when I need them. Now as I work through this card again, I pull out one of the shakers as the main elements. I have this beautiful Celebrate die cut from Altenew, and then I mix in a couple of these illustrated faith stickers, mainly because the colors work so very well. It brings in more of that lime green color. We add a tree in here to give it a little bit more, you know, interest. I have the florals here again, more color, more interest. And then I'm going to end up putting that cute little butterfly on some foam adhesive. And another thing I have to do is, since the die cut's going to overlap the mason jar, I have to put that on foam as well. So I actually end up grabbing some of this fun foam that has adhesive already on one side of it. I think this is very convenient, and if you guys have not tried this yet, I highly recommend it. This is the kind from Walmart. so nothing too crazy. Here's where I realized I put adhesive and foam where there shouldn't be because it'd be underneath the mason jar, but I ended up removing that and then sticking everything into place. And like I said, this butterfly is going to have some foam adhesive as well, and it works out really well. It's just adding another pop of green and blue, which is something I tend to look for on cards, is adding all the colors that I want. And I'll have some slow-mo up-close pics of all of these at the end, so you guys can see them up close and personal. But again, really, really simple cards. I'm not doing anything too crazy. I'm kind of just taking scrapbooking ideas and putting them all together. By now you can already figure out I have not used the beautiful Altenew stamp set that I originally had in this card concoction series, and that's okay by my book. It didn't really end up fitting. None of the sentiments really fit, and I couldn't stamp on top of any of these die cuts like I originally had intended. So it really broke my heart that I couldn't use it this time, but I do think I'll end up using it again sometime soon. So here again, mason jar is going to be the center of attention. I also pull in this beautiful doily, which was from last month's kit, and those are from Momenta. And it's got this ombre green radiant feel, as well as gold enamel or gold embossed foil dots, which I think is another fun element. And it really helps bring out the green in the background paper as well as the greens inside the mason jar shaker. Now as I layer everything together, again with the overlap, you want to make sure that your foam is in the correct spot so that it can support itself, especially on cards. But I don't end up adding anything too crazy to these. I thought I'd add a lot more, you know, enamel dots, like these enamel hearts or die cuts or stickers, but they're relatively simple cards. And I will say that that tends to be my style no matter what, even if I do crazy stamping and coloring, relatively simple. But here are the close-ups of the finished cards. I'm so glad I finished off these shakers. They're very, very cute, and they're just from Recollections. Quite old, but very, very cute. And here are all of them in up close. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and let me know if you want to see more card concoction videos during this month of November, because I have a lot of stamps in my kit, and as you guys can tell, I didn't get to use the one stamps that I put in here on this card, so I have a ton more in my kit this month for How to Kill a Kit with Style, and I'd love to use some more on some cards. But other than that, I used 4 out of my 5 items, which is pretty impressive, especially since we finished off the whole set of shaker mason jars. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed again, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!